I feel like I'm making things even more complicated than they already were. Hey guys, welcome back here. It's time to take the next steps in my Glitter Tool Teru Tamatoshi inspired gown project. That's a mouthful. I'm gonna have to find a more catchy title for this. I spent the past little while searching for all of the materials that I would need because I thought I had everything. I definitely did not have everything I needed for this project. I bought a bunch of stuff. So first and most importantly, something I wasn't gonna do at first, but then I thought, no, I want to do this properly and I want to try this because it sounds really exciting. Foam. This is the type of foam that is used to make bras out of, and I want to use it to make my cups. So I am actually gonna make padded cups for this dress. Fingers crossed, I really hope this works out because this is quite different to regular sewing. But once again, Daria of Daria Pattern Making, whose pattern I'm using for this bodice, has a video on her channel where she does just this using that pattern, so I should be able to do it. It looked doable when I saw her do it. I also found underwire channeling in a similar color, a matching color to the cup foam, so that is just going to be the inside of the cups. So I can use the underwire channeling both as actual underwire channeling as well as to finish the cups on the inside, which is what she did in her video. So I got quite a considerable length. I hope this is enough. It's 2 meters. Then I got a bunch of boning end caps because I learned from my mistake there is not a lot in this little packet, so I got everything the store had, which was just 3, but I hope this should be enough. Then I got to thinking, since I was planning to make the entire thing out of satin, like satin was going to be my base layer, I'm a little bit worried that it might not be strong enough. So I am considering using my mock-up here as either a lining or an interlining fabric, which means that I would probably just use this whole thing as it is with boning channels already in place and everything, because it's functional and why not? So all I'd have to do is to remove the boning that is in there, add the end caps wherever needed, and make sure that everything is a little bit more secure. Remove the cups, of course. However, this doesn't look too great from the inside, and I mean, it's not horrible, but it's definitely not the nicest. I made this to look good from the outside. Oh, I could just turn it inside out, of course. Oh, maybe, because this actually looks fine. Okay, I might use it as the lining, because I'm a little bit worried if I use this and 2 layers of satin and 2 layers of tulle, which I need to do to make the color consistent throughout the entire dress, that the bodice is just going to be very bulky, and that's not the look I'm going for. It needs to have a very kind of small cinched midriff and waist section for the silhouette to work. So yeah, that is something I'm a little bit worried about, but I do think this will help just give the dress a bit more structure and make it stronger. With the foam cups on top, just gonna be a nice cream lining on the inside. I think that will be fine actually, even aesthetic wise. You know what, I think I might start with the cups, just for funsies. I'm just gonna rewatch Daria's video on that and give it a try. Before we move into the sewing, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers loads and loads of creative classes. But did you know they offer hundreds of career-focused classes as well? The new year has just started, many of us are making goals, and one of my goals actually for 2023 is to look into potentially starting a small business. I hinted at this briefly in an Instagram Q&A, but yes, it's something I'm really excited about and really looking forward to. Skillshare offers a bunch of classes by experienced teachers who take you through the process of starting a business step by step. They walk you through everything you need to do in order to get the best possible start. So if you were thinking of maybe starting a side business or taking a creative skill to the next level, then this is a great place to start. I made a little playlist for myself with a bunch of classes that are related to this. The first class I followed is called Etsy Launch, How to Open an Etsy Shop Like a Professional Seller by Tiffany Emery, which is super useful. She's a very successful Etsy seller and offers lots of fantastic insights on how to get started on the platform. I also have Build Your Business and Brand, Translating Your Passion into a Plan by Rebecca Minkoff. And then there is E-Commerce Essentials, How to Start a Successful Online Business by by Tracy Wallace. And it's just great to get all of these different perspectives from different people that have done this successfully. Now, if this is something that sounds good to you too, I have great news because Skillshare are kindly offering the first 1,000 viewers who click the link in the description box a free 1-month trial membership of Skillshare so that you can achieve your new career goals this year. Definitely be sure to check that out. A huge thank you to Skillshare for both providing these resources as well as sponsoring this video. And now let's get to sewing. Okay, let's try to make the cups. I have my foam here. There's plenty of foam. If I were to make mistakes, you know, I can just go again, so no need to stress about this. We're just gonna do it. So I have my pattern pieces here, and the first thing I need to do is cut away the seam allowance, because the foam is going to be attached together with a zigzag stitch, like as if I were to glue it, so there won't be any seam allowance. Hopefully this will become a little bit more clear when I show you, but basically I'm gonna have to cut away all the seam allowance except for the underwire line. Transfer that notch. All right. Mark this as the foam pattern. This one too. And I'm leaving on the sides because those connect to this underwire line that I'm trying to leave. Okay, so now I need to get this onto my foam. Daria suggests tracing this and then cutting it like that because it's easier to do that way and gives more precision. So I'm gonna do that. Alright, I have my pieces here. Now before I move on and cut out the mirrored pieces from the upside down pattern, I think I really just want to sew this so that I can at least check the size and see if I can do it at all. I have switched out my needle, I have switched out my thread, I have set my machine to the widest possible zigzag stitch. One end of the zigzag is gonna go into this side and the other end is gonna go into that side so that it connects like that. Oh, that's a nice wide stitch in any case. Keep going. Okay. It's not the neatest job in the world, but I mean, they are together. Alright, alright. This is gonna be covered by some of that underwire channeling anyway, so it should be alright. I tried on my cup and it fits, so I made the second one as well. And now all I need to do is to cover up these stitch lines with my underwire channeling. I keep losing that word, underwire channeling. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna top stitch it on, and that should give me a nice and neat finish on the inside of my cups. And that will be the foam part finished. So after that, I can move on to the actual satin and tulle layers. My foam cups are finished and I am now ready to start working on the outer portion of this, so the actual outside fabric. And for that I have my satin here. And I don't think I've ever actually worked with satin. I may have used it as lining when I made my winter coat. What I do know is that satin is notoriously difficult to work with and slippery. So I am considering, since this pattern consists of a bunch of pretty finicky little pieces, I'm considering just block fusing my interfacing, which means that I will just take my fabric, if this will cooperate at all. I'll just take my fabric and my interfacing, where is it? Just an entire sheet of interfacing, and fuse this together. And then I will cut my pattern pieces out of this bit of fabric that is already interfaced. So that way I won't have to try and match up my interfacing pieces to my outer fabric pieces, and also this should make the satin a little bit easier to work with, a little bit less slippery. This is a project absolutely full of firsts, but I love it, I love it. Alright, so let's just do that then. I have cut out 2 sets of cup pieces from my main fabric, and now I'm gonna do the same thing with both of my tools. Since my skirt and the majority of my dress is gonna consist of a silk layer, then lots of layers of this tool, and then just 1 or maybe 2 layers of this tool. I want the bodice to be approximately the same color, obviously, as the skirt. So if I were to skip over this tool and just go straight onto the satin, it's not exactly the same color, the satin and the tulle. So I'm a little bit worried that I would have a fairly significant color difference between my top and my skirt. So I am gonna cut out at least 1 layer of the pink tulle, which I'm going to overlay on top of this, and then I'm gonna overlay 1 layer of the glitter tulle on top of that. And that's gonna be what I make my bodice out of. So basically every pattern piece is gonna consist of 3 to 4 layers of fabric, counting the interfacing. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna cut these out first, then baste each individual piece so that it's not all the individual layers just shifting around. And then after I've basted that, then I'm gonna attach them together and make my cups. I feel like I'm making things even more complicated than they already were, but I do think that this is what I need to do in order to get the best result. It is day 2. Yesterday I was so excited that I just kept working throughout the evening, and I now have cups. Oh my gosh! Oh, it's so beautiful! It's so beautiful! This fabric, it just works. I'm so glad that it actually works. I was a little bit worried about the lilac tulle with the pink satin, but it's so good. It's so pretty! I do think at some point I'm gonna have to buy myself a tailor's ham, because ironing this, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I need something round and firm to be able to iron on. I could try like mushing up a pillow underneath or something, but I don't think it's gonna work as well as a tailoring ham would. So yeah, my pressing is a bit mediocre and my stitching isn't perfect either, but I mean, this is by far the most complicated project I've ever done. Yeah, I'm not gonna be too hard on myself. It is my first evening gown after all. Up next, I need to attach the outside of the cups to the foam. Yeah, that's it. So I think this goes right sides together. I stitch along the top, flip it over, and then I top stitch along the sides, and because that's gonna go into the back of the bodice bit. And then the inside, there's gonna be a roll seam, but that is gonna be hidden behind a strip of underwire channeling, because that is where the actual underwire is gonna go. I am nervous once again, but everything will be fine. I'm sure it will. The cups are more or less finished. All I have to do now is attach the underwire channeling and the underwires, but I think I'm gonna do that later. Now it's time to start working on the bodice. So I'm gonna take my bodice pattern pieces, cut those out of my interfaced satin, and then what I was planning to do is to trace the flat pattern, like the entire bodice, and cut that out of both layers of tulle just in one piece. I hope that will come out looking good. If it doesn't, I will just redo it, but fingers crossed. All right, let's go. We have a bodice. It's so pretty. I cannot believe I am making something that looks like this. This is just, oh. The lining is in, which was my mock-up, and I actually think it looks pretty good. I think this was a good call. I think the cotton is going to be much more comfortable against the skin than another layer of satin, and also it's going to probably hold up a little bit better, because you don't really want a layer that slippery up against the skin when it's a garment that's supposed to hold itself up, because I am still, I think, planning on making this strapless. I haven't made any other plans for now in any case. It worked. Everything I did worked, so it is now boned. The layer of tulle on the outside is uninterrupted, but the thing is still nicely structured. It looks good. I'm very, very happy. So next up, I need to somehow get my cups sewn into this. So I know they're supposed to go in from the back, like this, but how that works exactly, I'm not entirely sure. I don't really remember. I think you just top stitch it very close to the edge, but I'm gonna double check, watch that video again, this portion of it, double check, and then go about this very carefully, because I feel like at this point I could completely ruin it with bad top stitching. So I definitely don't want to do that, but oh look, it's gonna look so good! I am so proud that I made this. Look at it! It came out exactly as I envisioned, and I am very, very happy with how this looks. The inside looks neat as well. Looks like a well-finished inside of a garment. It doesn't exactly match the outside, but I'm okay with that. The cups are in, I was able to do everything. The only thing, there is one thing that went slightly wrong. I don't know if you can tell, but there is some wrinkling going on under the cups, like right here. And I am fairly sure that that is because my underwires are too small, because it didn't happen before. In fact, let me take them out now and we can check. Because before I inserted these, that wasn't happening. And yeah, there you go, wrinkles gone. Yeah, it's definitely the underwire. And if I hold my underwire up against the cup, let me come a bit closer, but yeah, you can see that it's a little bit too narrow, a lot. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and order bigger underwires. If I'm completely honest, this dress is so structured that I feel like I might not even need the underwires necessarily, but I will add them back just to be sure. Because I wanted to do this properly. Wait, let me point you down a bit. You can see how this looks on. I'm not gonna try it on without my clothes. I did try it on this morning, by the way, and it fits just beautifully. I'm so happy with that. But you can kind of tell what it will look like if I wear it over my clothes. I'm so happy with it. There is enough room in the back for a zipper. A little bit too much now, obviously, because I'm wearing a sweater and a t-shirt and everything underneath, but yeah, on my bare skin this closes up nicely, exactly enough space for a zipper. It hits beautifully on my waist. It's so good. I'm gonna hold off on inserting the zipper until the skirt is attached to this, because I want it to, of course, zip down beyond the skirt as well. So I think for now this is a nice cutoff point, and we can continue making this skirt in the next video. And I have to decide at some point if I want to make sleeves, and if yes, what I want the sleeves to look like. I might not go for sleeves, but just do like a decorative ribbon that ties on the shoulders or something like that. For now, this is where I'm gonna end this video, and I am so excited about the progress we've made. I cannot believe it's going this well. I am even more excited now to see the final product. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me on this journey here of making my very own Teo Tamatoshi inspired gown. Don't forget to check out Skillshare and learn any new things that you want to learn in 2023, or get started on those New Year's resolutions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more episodes of making the Teo Tamatoshi inspired gown, but also other things, of course. If you would like to support me through Patreon, there's a link in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There's another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you for watching once again, and I will see you very soon in my next video.